the design process, the various steps involved in the design process. Because any type of the design, if you want to make, you want to modify, or sometimes it may lead to some innovations. So for all those things, we need certain steps in the design that we call it as design process. So the first step is to define the problem. We need to know about whether the problem is valid, whether you are able to justify definitely there is a problem is there, whether we can give the solution for that particular problem, that is how much time duration you can take to define that problem. So all those things will be taken into account. And the second thing is to generate the concepts, right? While generating the laws, principles, and the concepts behind the engineering, technology, and science. Sometimes you can get support from mathematics also for doing some calculations while you are doing this design. So many things are there in generating the concepts that also we discussed in the previous session. And another important thing is to develop this solution. So we are having a good concept. You identified a very good problem, and you need to certify that this particular problem, if you are solving, it will be very useful for the society or the people, those who are using this particular product. It will be user friendly. So many things you can take as a significance, right, while you are taking this design process. Right, that is the concept behind the generating concepts. And the next thing is we need to develop a particular solution. Right, how to develop a solution? Right, there are many methodologies are there to achieve the results. So which one holds good? Which one will be helpful? That we need to rely on that. Right, some of the concepts it will be very tedious to attain the results. Some of the concepts it will give you a beautiful path so that it will be much attractive for you and it will be very interesting for you. You can work on that and you can get the solution. Right, there are many methods out there. There are some time durations out there. You need to prepare a matrix. That's what we've seen in the previous session. Right. So the matrix is very important. It will tell you about the different ideas, and from the different ideas, you can select one. Right, which one it will be very suitable for you. Right, just I like to show that particular matrix so that you can remember, right, to generate the matrix. Right, so all the concepts you will be taken into account, and something you can if you are forming a matrix, some concepts you can say that it is more significant, some it will be less significant. You can come to the conclusion. So after coming to the conclusion, now you are ready for doing a new product. All right. And if the product is very small, you can directly do it. Or if it is a small product also, the first thing you have to do a sample. And the sample will be given to the users to check. That is how it will be helpful. So whether you proposed some objective, so whether you are able to achieve that objective from that particular product. So that is very important. That is why you make the products. So that particular thing we are going to discuss in this particular session. That is the design process. It is telling about the construction and the testing by using the prototype. That's why given the heading as the design process for the construct and test prototype. That is, the construction is the important thing, right? Everybody, that is any new design, everybody want to rely on that, right? If the construction is very good and if it is perfect, then most of the problems will be solved. right? And whether you are constructing some certain product, how it will be user friendly for the customers, and whether the construction it will achieve your objective, whatever the objective you proposed. So all those things will comes under this construction. And the prototype, that is why we call it as the prototype. Why we need prototype means, listen, you want to do a big product, and the cost involved in the for the bigger product is in terms of crores, and you are making that product by utilizing some 1 or 2 crores of money. Then if there is any fault, is that the total money will be getting wasted. I'll tell you some examples. Even in the nuclear power stations, or even you can take the atomic power stations, they need bigger burners. It should fit for the particular nuclear fission or fusion process. There is a small changes in the dimension leads to a major negative impact. The cost involved while preparing such type of burners is around 2 crores. And if there is a small changes in the dimensions, makes everything spoil. Therefore, how the fitness will be need to be checked previously by using a prototype. You can make a small model, and for that model you can make the supporting things, and you check how it will be working. Whether it is working in the small model that we called it as the prototype, definitely it will work if you are proportionally changing or proportionally increasing the size. So that is very important, right? The ratings, everything, whatever you are giving, for example, if you want to check everything, the electronics, and you can put forward the whole things to the power systems, right? There are some conflicts there, but still you can maintain some of the basic requirements. So that's why we are going to discuss in detail about this prototype and the construction. Let us start. So till now we discussed about how to develop a solution, and now we are going to discuss about to construct and test some prototypes. That is how we can do it. So you can see that will be the next step. And construct a testable prototype. That is how we can test, right? That's why I told. If you want to make a bigger thing, there is a model, right? Model you need to check with the smallest, means the dimension should not vary in proportional. I'll tell you. If a generator, if you are taking, all right, and you want to modify, what you have to do means the prototype means a smaller type of the generator you can construct it, and you can see the function how it will be. Then you can go for the bigger one, right? Otherwise you are making like vessels and all, that is a small, you can make it, and you can see that is how it will be working, and proportionally you can do it, right? So these are the main things in the while constructing the prototype, right? So first thing is the testable prototype means, simply if you are constructing something as a model, and if it is not testable, then there is no use. We need to test. So what are the main important thing we want to check means, we need to test about their performance. We need to test about that is how much it will be user friendly, and we need to check about that is how much years it will come, right? That is the very important thing. That is while we are testing, you can see one by one the performance, in the sense you identified that is some of the objective, like it will perform very well when compared to the previous thing. For example, you can take the mobile phones. That is one mobile phone, it is available, and you are giving some new concepts, and if you are applying the same concept to the mobile, then you can say that the performance will be good now, right? And if the performance is good, that is how you know that. That is a sample. You have to sample, you have to justify, right? Then only people can believe about the performance of the new products. And user friendly, that is how much it will be user friendly, that is for the customers. They are buying the particular product, and because they are the end users, that is how much it will be useful. That is also important thing we need to analyze. That is usability and durability. The previous days and that is whatever the product they are constructing, it was much rigid. Even people didn't given the warranty, but it came for many decades. See, that's why I think I told an example earlier. I supposed to check a old ceiling fan in my house decades before. Still, it is running. Once it is running much slower, I thought I can replace the starting the capacitors so that it will run. Then I am in the position to open that fan. Right, open means the outer segment, like only that capacitors. Then I seen that there is some part, the joining, it was slightly corroded. So I want to take away the fan, and I'd like to clean it, and then I can fix it. One important thing I experienced while I opened the connection and I taken the fan, I can say the weight of the fan, that is total the ceiling fan, it is 5 times than that of what of the fan now. That much weight it was. Then I identified why, how it is. Then I seen the outer bearings. That was much stronger. It was made like that. They didn't compromise with the quality. And I checked the coils inside. After 20-25 years, it was very nice. I don't know the exact date of purchase, but I'm very sure it will be more than 25 years. And even the leaf of the fan, it was not get corroded. It was good. If you're checking whether the manufacturer has given any warranty, no, nothing was given. Still, the fan, it is able to run for decades, not in some months or in years. So just imagine, that is how the quality of the manufacturers there at that time. They didn't compromise the quality. Even though the price will be high, they will charge proportionally. But nowadays, you can see it's a weightless fans. It's coming. We're checking the bearing, and if we a strong hit, if you are giving onto the outer bearing, then it will get broken because the material used was like that. So such type of because they want to reduce the weight, they want to reduce the cost, they may, especially the quality. So what I am telling means, so you can do many advantages, you can include some significances. There is no problem, but You should not compromise with the quality. Even air conditioners. Some of the air conditioners, even 15 years, 20 years, it's working very well. And while you are lifting the outdoor units, especially the compressors are there, you can't lift that much weight it will be. I'm telling the compressors, those who came 15 to 10 to 15 years before. But now it is very easy. People can lift with their single hands. Then I verified what exactly what is the difference between the outdoor units that was there in the previous air conditioners and the air conditioners coming today. Previously, they used copper alloys. The coil inside is the copper alloy. That's why it came for years without any problem. Now, to reduce the cost, reduce the manufacturing cost, the people are using aluminum alloys. There is a huge difference between the copper alloy and aluminum alloy in terms of cost. It is very cheaper. Then what ultimately happening at the end? It won't come more than 5 years. Very few cases, if it is not much dust and it will be away from some good environmental places, then at least we can see some of the good significance. But otherwise, no. That's why whatever the product we're making, we should not compromise. That is the very important while we are testing. Like the test, it should say about the performance, it should say about the usability, it should say about the durability. Because while telling durability only, I made this many examples. Because that is the main thing I'm worried about. The things it will be like a marketing technique. So if they are you will not buy another one. But the marketing technique, it says that is within 5 years it will get failed. Means the people, they won't go for service. It will be costly. Then they will go for replacement. Then the manufacturers, they can sell many things, but that is not acceptable. The ethics behind the manufacturing is not like that. The ethics behind the design is not like that. We are studying about the design, which will be happen through moral and ethics. That's why I'm telling, right? So the test, what are the things we can do in the test procedures, that also we can see. In the test prototype, we used to collect the test data, and also we can analyze the data. You have to check the performance, you have to check that is how much duration it will be lost, and we can analyze, and we can do some comparisons, and you can make a report. Such a report, we call it as the test report. So that is the important thing. We need to do it while we are going for the prototype, right? These many things we seen, that is from the first part onwards, we define problem, we generated the concepts, we develop the solutions, now we construct it. That means the prototype or the sample one, and now we tested, and the test report is with you, right? So that is how actually you are doing this prototyping is a very very complicated thing. That is, once you achieve the perfect design, right? I will show you in the next slide. That is how complicated, if you're doing the research and getting the concepts, and you are making the prototype. So once you made the prototype, that means you are come to a nominal path that you can able to sell your product. That is, your product should be successful. the product will be successful. Definitely, because you followed these many steps while you were making the design. Let us see the next slide so that you can understand. See, see, some different regions were mentioned. We defined the problem. You can see at the time of the research how the people will be, how complex it will be. That's what it was expressed here, like this. Right? Why I express in terms of zigzag lines here and there means that is the time the people they should put more and more efforts, and then making the concepts, generating the concepts. So at that time also you need to verify most of the concepts and which will be suitable, and you develop the solutions, and finally the prototype. You can see that that will be the stable region. Right at the time of the research, you can see that you are going here and there in the zigzag path, and that is having a more and more complexities. And after the complexity is slightly reduced at the concept region and the prototype, most of the conflicts or complex will be reduced. Now you will be in the stable state. That is the important thing in the prototype. Right, so building a prototype is the final step before going to the customers. Right, once you are able to do it, so most probably you achieved. Right, afterwards some more managerial techniques needs to take into the customers. We have to do it. Right, so that is the main thing that we need to discuss in this particular session. So I hope you understood. I'll tell you some of the testing things. The people will do some of the examples. I will tell you that is how they are making this, especially we can see that where aircraft and wind tunnel test also they will do that. That is depends upon the huge air. Right, it is coming just opposite to that. That is how the aircraft will work on that. All right, so the testing facilities is very very important. So if you are having a proper testing facility, then only you can do the proper testing, and you can make the test report perfectly. Right, there are many type of the testing, not only in the aircraft, even in the mechanical systems and other places also the testings are very very important. Even if you are taking the automobiles, yes, the testing is very important. You can see that they will go for many different types of the tests, especially for the fuels, especially for the safety. Also the safety test and all, if you are able to watch in some videos, especially in the YouTubes, you can check. It will be tremendous things they are making while they are checking the safety of a particular automobiles. Right, therefore these things are very important. The testing facilities are very important. Then only we can make a perfect report in the testing. Right, so that I'll try to show in the next slide. That is what exactly we can do it in the testing. You can see that the testing mode, the test analysis were there, we taken it, and this is not the final thing given to the customers, but it will be like the approximated the product we can get it. But the test results will says that whether you can take it to the further next step, or you have to go to the redesigning. So here also you can say that the flowchart not ends, right? And the prototype is valid. If you are able to certify the prototype in all aspects, all testing aspects, okay, you can. But otherwise, you have to go back. Means you have to check your solution, whatever you obtained. You have to check your concepts. Sometimes you may redefine the problem. So all those things were there inside testing a prototype. I hope you understood up to this testing. So today we discuss about that is how we can test the prototype right? So that's all from my end about this particular session. I hope you understood, and if you're having any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.